Hello and welcome to the Rotary Time Show, a public service program presented by the Rotary District 7610. Funding for this program is made possible through the generosity of Rotary District 7610, Virginia. On our program, we speak with Rotarians and community leaders to discuss how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and world communities. I am your host, District Governor Pat Borowski from the Rotary Club of Bailey's Crossroads, Virginia. The success of a Rotary Club incredibly depends upon the club president. They lead, inspire, motivate, and connect their clubs to their communities and others here and around the world. Joining me remotely today is Rotarian Henry Moncure, who is the president of the Rotary Club of Gloucester, Virginia, for the 21-22 Rotary year. Welcome, President Henry, and thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Henry, before we get into talking about your club and your projects, we always like to kind of set the stage with understanding who our Rotarian presidents are. So if you could kind of give me a little bit about your life before Rotary.
All right. I was born and raised in Fredericksburg and received a Bachelor of Science Civil Engineering at VMI in 1974. Became a registered professional engineer in April of 1978 and have worked as a structural engineer since 1974. I finished my career as a project manager with Philip Morris USA and retired in 2007.
Oh, that's great. And you did a lot, and in doing projects are so tailor-made for knowing how to do them for Rotary. So how did you get from doing that to getting involved in Rotary?
Well, one of my earlier career experiences, I was doing marketing for an engineering consulting firm. And in doing so, I ran into a longtime Rotarian in Richmond who told me that I needed to be in Rotary. And he, in fact, sponsored me.
Cool. So
that it would help with the networking. And that was 1987, I believe.
Right.
So I started out at West Richmond Rotary and moved based on job requirements through various Rotary clubs, ending up at the Gloucester Rotary in 2009. And because we moved to Gloucester full time.
Well, that's great. And then if you can tell us some background about your club, the number of years and things of that nature, so people can get an idea for it.
Yeah. The Gloucester Rotary Club was first organized in 1933, but surrendered its charter in 1943. Due to World War II gas ration. The club, as it is known today, was chartered in 1963 with 21 members. Interestingly enough, we have two of those charter members that are still members of our club. The oldest is 102 years old.
Wow.
Our club sponsored both the formation of the Matthews and the Gloucester Point clubs.
Oh, wow.
And we currently have 17 members, with two of those being honorary. Mm-hmm. Our age range is from age 40 to 102.
I think he's the outlier, though.
Well, Ellis is, but he very much was a integral part of our Rotary Club up until he was at age 100. I mean, he attended meetings and so forth. Mm-hmm. We have 4 women in our club, and our club currently meets on the second and the fourth Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. at the Peninsula's Emergency Management Services building on Main Street.
Well, that's great. And then if you could give us a sense of your community, how large is it? How has it changed over the years, and maybe, areas of leading need?
The community itself, the population is 37,000. Mm-hmm. And it's made up of some retirees, some professionals. There are no real large businesses over here, that employ a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Serves kind of as a bedroom community for Richmond as well as Hampton Roads.
Right.
The needs within the community, we have folks that are 8A type housing and so forth. And so, there is a snack pack program in our elementary schools, mm-hmm. Which takes care of helping to feed, the kids, on the weekends when they're right. not at school, can't get, the meals.
Right.
The community is very much supportive of, like, the Gloucester Matthews Care Clinic, okay. which helps the uninsured or the underinsured get proper medical care.
Right. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But I wanted to have you kind of begin to outline briefly for our audience your leading community service projects.
Our leading ones have been, we do the road cleanup on Warehouse Road and have done so for at least 20 years. Mm-hmm. The other things that we have done and are doing, we recently completed a project building new kiosks at there's a new state park, Machimoco, that just opened this year.
Oh, cool.
And we have also, the signature project that was done for many years was a Rabies Clinic, which was done up until 2007. Uh-huh. Started back in the 80s. And we're looking again to do that mm-hmm. this fall mm-hmm. in association with the local Humane Society.
That's great. And then additionally, you're involved also with your youth in terms of vocational and scholarships. You want to talk a little bit about that program, and then we'll go in depth.
Yeah, we have a scholarship program that awards annual scholarships each year. The number does vary, but it's 6 of those, and then 2 that are 4-year renewable ones.
Oh, wow.
And they're in $1,000 increments.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Now, do any of those students come back to the community, or do you see them at the club to find out kind of what they're doing? And
yeah, we typically invite them to one meeting during the summer to actually talk to our club and really update us on how they're doing. And, if they need help, mentoring or anything like that, mm-hmm. We try.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, now I want you to kind of identify what your two most favorite projects are in the club. And also if you would talk just briefly about some of the fellowship activities that y'all do.
One of the two I introduced a little while ago, the one with the building the shelters. This was actually a district grant project that we jointly applied for with Matthews Rotary Club, and they in turn jointly provided personnel to do the construction. And it's really the first time in a number of years that we have done a combined project like that. And it really, to me, it meant a lot to meet and work, with the folks from the other Rotary Club. And really out in the community, we were able to connect with the park rangers at the new park.
Oh, good.
And one of them is from this community, the other one not. But we're encouraging them to take an active role in our Rotary Club. Again, this is kind of exciting to me because it's kind of a continuing involvement, in the community or with the community.
Yes,
in both ways.
Absolutely, and that begins to address Rotary's new area of focus, the environment. So, boy, you're really right there, Henry. And what is one other project quickly?
The another project that we typically work on, we have worked on in the past, is we did one at the Puller Center, which is part of the, it's a center for mentally, I use the proper term, mentally challenged individuals, but they actually train them to do work such as rebuild small equipment, and it's, so we did raised planter boxes for them, as well as benches.
Henry, if I can ask you to just stop right there. We will take a short break and be right back and talk more with President Henry Moncure. Please stay with us.
Possibilities are all around us. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world. Together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved at Rotary.org.
Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We are here speaking with Rotarian Henry Moncure, the president of the Rotary Club of Gloucester, Virginia, for Rotary Year 21-22. Well, Henry, let's pick up on that project you were talking about for the raised garden beds and all, if you want to continue on that one.
Yeah. This was one that, again, it involved all of our, active Rotarians. And the benefit here is some of the individuals that attend that center have limited mobility. Right. So these boxes were built at a height where they can actually use them and plant flowers, plant vegetables, whatever, and really get some good use out of it. The benches are because some of the individuals get there early, sometimes before the center opens.
Right.
And so this was really something that was actively used. During COVID, they shut the center down, but are reopening it.
Okay, so that's wonderful. Well, Getting back to your joint project with Matthews in terms of the health program, and then you had talked about a special kind of series that you have concerning benefactors.
Yes, we have a what we call our community benefaction program, where we work with the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, Samaritan Group, Bread for Life, and approximately 10 other community organizations, and provide funding grants to them of anywhere from $600 to $1,000. And we're set up so we do this typically twice a year. And the nominations are made by our members, and then there's a board that evaluates them that consists of the president, the treasurer, and any of our members that want to be involved.